Most people think Machiavelli teaches you how to manipulate others. They couldn't be more wrong. His greatest lesson is actually about protecting yourself from manipulation. There's a difference between being a good person and being an easy person to deceive. The world celebrates kindness and honesty, but when real challenges appear, it often rewards those who stay calm, think ahead, and understand human nature. That's why Niccolò Machiavelli remains one of history's most misunderstood thinkers. He wasn't encouraging people to become ruthless. He was challenging them to stop being naive. The real question is this: can you become strategically intelligent without losing your humanity? Machiavelli lived during an age of political betrayal and constant power struggles. He wasn't describing the world as it should be. He was describing it as it was. His warning was simple: leaders who ignore human nature eventually become victims of it. Trust is built through consistent actions, not impressive speeches. Quiet discipline earns more respect than loud confidence. Picture two royal advisors competing for the king's trust. One constantly boasts, interrupts others, and demands recognition. The other speaks only when necessary, solves problems quietly, and stays calm during crisis. At first, the louder advisor gets all the attention, but when the kingdom faces danger, the king chooses the one who brings stability, not noise. Influence earned through reliability always lasts longer than influence built on ego. This is where Machiavelli is often misunderstood. Strategy isn't about exploiting people. It's about reducing your own blind spots. When you understand how pride clouds judgment and how fear spreads through groups, you stop making emotional decisions. Knowledge becomes a shield, not a weapon. So what can you apply today? Separate emotion from decision. Observe more than you speak. Build your reputation through consistency, not dramatic moments. Set boundaries without losing compassion. And most importantly, study human nature by first understanding your own. The true power of strategic thinking isn't controlling others, it's controlling yourself. A person who understands human nature becomes harder to manipulate. A person who understands their emotions becomes harder to provoke. Intelligence guided by integrity creates a strength that doesn't need to prove itself. Because the greatest lesson Machiavelli leaves behind isn't to become feared, it's to stop being naive. Compassion without awareness becomes vulnerability. Strategy without conscience becomes tyranny. But when wisdom and integrity stand together, you become someone who cannot be easily deceived, intimidated, or controlled. Remember, people who leave the greatest mark on history aren't always the strongest or the loudest. They're the ones who understand both human nature and themselves. They know when to speak and when silence carries more weight. They know when to stand their ground and when walking away is the smarter move. They don't chase power to control others. They develop wisdom, so they're never easily controlled themselves. That is the difference between someone who merely plays the game and someone who rises above it. The ultimate victory isn't defeating everyone around you. It's becoming someone who remains calm in chaos, clear in confusion, and principled in a world that constantly rewards shortcuts.